And we're live. Welcome to the greatest goddamn show on air. I'm Cole Clayton, Sniffing Glue 22, Chef Boyardee's Nuts, whatever you want to call me. And with me, I have my sister Ruby Red. It's my understanding that it's really hot down south right now, huh?
Oh yeah. I'm just wearing the hoodie because it's cute. I'm not even I didn't even need a jacket going to work. It's like 80 degrees outside right now.
Don't talk about hot, man. Like we had like a week and a half of like low 40s. So now it's 67 degrees outside and I'm wearing no sleeve shirt. So I'm like, it's hot outside. That shit will thicken your blood real fast. Going down to the four. Like at one point I think it was like 38. It was like 38. I was like, man, it's about to snow soon. Shit. And then now it's back up in the 60s. I'm like, that's a big contrast. 20 degrees. I know it's technically like to you that would be really cold and you're probably dying for 60-degree weather, but like I'm over it. I'm ready to be in the 40s and 50s and 30s. I'm ready for snow. I'm ready for the winter. I'm over this summer shit. I've never liked the heat, if I'm honest.
No?
I don't like warm, even weather. I don't even like that anymore. 70s, y'all can have it. I don't care. I like nice. I like to go outside and it's like a breeze in your face. You're like, okay, cool. That's good. Because if I want it to be hot or warm or whatever, I'll go inside. I'll go back to my house. I hate when it's so hot that the air conditioner does not do shit. Because then now I'm just blaring that shit for no fucking reason at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Speaking of which, this morning while I was getting ready for work, I hear a shitload of fucking sirens, fucking fire truck, cop car, like a fuck ton. And I get worried, right? Well, come to find out, like a town over, there was like a huge fire in this like abandoned structure. And fucking firefighters from 3 different towns had to come help put it out.
It just caught fire because it was hot?
Like, they're not saying what it was. I think it's arson.
Okay.
Because it was an abandoned building.
All them fucking, like, all that witchcraft where you're at.
And maybe all the whole list are the crackheads. I'm not saying the whole list of the crackheads did it. I'm not saying they did the arson. Arson sounds like teenagers, if I'm being honest with you.
Probably. Or crazy ex-girlfriend.
But anyway.
Evidently. She wasn't even my girlfriend, Ruby. That's the funny part.
Yeah, she was mine.
Well, actually, she didn't
That's the funny part.
On fire, actually. She didn't set it on fire as her boyfriend.
No, I really think she was in on it, too. And kind of made it seem like, oh, he did it. And you just know he did it, and you just know he was there, and you just didn't take part in it. Yeah, that sounds like some shit that we've done and that you've lied about, like, in front of me. Because I would see her do it. She would, like, recreate the story right in front of my eyes. So that she probably burned it down also. Because why is that random guy going to want to burn someone else's house down?
Right.
Let's be fucking for real. It was her idea.
You think?
We're just giving no context to the story either. We'll talk about it another time. Yeah. Anyway,
let's talk about it. Go back and watch the other episodes. We've talked about it so many times at this point.
Let's get into Liam Payne from One Direction. Passed away.
Yeah, and which is just the craziest thing because like you were always like the biggest One Direction fan that I knew. You know what I mean? And I always gave you shit for it. Just like they're gay or whatever. And like when they broke up, I guess was there ever actually like an official breakup, or did they just kind of all go and do like
they didn't even break up, they went on a hiatus. They said they were going on an 18-month hiatus and they would be back. They lied.
18 months. That's weird.
It's weirdly specific,
small
right?
Amount of time. Yeah, it's a weird small amount of time. Like, because they all went and did their own solo careers. You know what I mean? And like Liam Payne did that one song. I don't know if he did anything else. Yeah, with Quavo, and I always loved that song.
Also, it was fire.
It was probably the best song that any of them did individually, in my opinion.
I think so.
And like to that point, Liam. After that, Liam was always my favorite of the One Directioners. So of course, that's the motherfucker that dies, right?
Right. I don't know, dude. That was fucked up shit. So you sent me the text, right? I was literally about to walk outside. I was doing something. I was like taking the trash out. I was doing something. I look at my phone.
Oh,
and
so I
it says,
broke it to you?
yeah. I wasn't even
You
on my
didn't text me back
phone.
right away.
Because I didn't tell you how I handled it. Because you texted me and it said, Liam Payne died. And I look at my phone and I almost walk away. And then I was like, what did that just say? No. And I said, no, he did not. No, he did not. And I fucking Googled it. And I was like, he fucking did! Oh my God! I dropped to the floor, bro. My fucking best friend and my boyfriend both looked at me like, what the fuck just happened? Who died? Who? And I'm like,
And they're like, who?
we're never getting a reunion. I mean, that's not the saddest part of it all. Like, probably the saddest fact is the fact that he's leaving his child behind with no father. That's pretty fucking sad. But
That's pretty fucked up. If he really did like off himself, like
they're kind of saying, they're kind of hinting that he did. So
that way, right?
What I can tell, and I was not aware of this because honestly, after One Direction broke up, I kind of kept up with like some of them. I didn't keep up with all of them. And then after a while, I barely kept up with any of them because they're all rich and I'm poor. So
Right.
I got bigger issues than them. But apparently Liam had come out and spoken of his substance abuse and his alcohol abuse and his depression. And he even wore like one of those paperclip necklaces that means like you've either, know someone who died of suicide or you tried to commit suicide or some shit like that, like some
I've never heard that before, but okay.
Well, he took it, apparently he took it off like in the few months before he died.
Huh.
So because it was supposed to be one of those things that's like, keep going, don't end it. Just stay here with us. And
so those paperclip chains that I see people wearing that I always thought were like trashy, those are because those are in memory of suicide? Interesting.
A specific one. I'm not saying all of them are, but there's specifically one that he was wearing that was. So I didn't know any of that. I didn't know he was having substance abuse issues.
Tell you everything about their life. I swear to God, in the most subtle way. I swear to God, like you can't just keep shit to yourself anymore.
I really think it's more of a warning. I really think it's more of a like, you need to be careful what the fuck you say to me because I already don't want to be. Because I already don't want to be here. It's more like I already don't want to be here. So fucking try me. Try me if you want to.
Go fuck yourself. You're the one who's sad, not me.
That's how I feel. Like,
how about you take some responsibility for your sadness and get away from me because you don't know what the fuck I'm gonna say because you're gonna put that on me. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Oh, don't say stuff around me. I have bad feelings. Get the fuck away from me. Get the F away from me.
But isn't that pretty much just women?
I'm tired of that's everybody being a bitch these days. Men used to go to war. Now because we don't, we're going to war with our own self.
You go to war with yourself every day when you look in the mirror, don't you? You're just fucking arguing with yourself, don't you? You just practice it.
No, I just say the opposite of what other people say constantly. Mostly because people say things that irk me all the time.
Bro, I got off.
I broke you.
I got off on the wrong timeline or the wrong dimension because Liam Payne dying was not in the fucking books. That was not in the fucking books, right? And
2024 bingo card, right?
It's not even funny. And here's the thing: if anyone gets in my comments and starts talking shit about One Direction, I want you to know right now you will be blocked.
Other than Harry Styles, I'm not even talking shit. I'm just like, it's crazy that even happened because, well, I guess it's not that crazy when you think about it. Because, like, what other than maybe Harry Styles, when was the last time anything One Direction related was like relevant?
Yeah,
And
no.
Styles, I don't even feel like it's actually that relevant. I feel like that Hollywood wants him to be relevant because he's good looking, but he's not a great actor. He's probably the least talented of the One Directioners. He's just the best looking. You know what I mean? Like they're forcing him down everybody's throat. You know what I mean? So like honestly, when was the last time One Direction was relevant? It was that song that came out like 10 years ago where they're talking about getting old when they're in their
History.
early 20s.
History.
Um like I guess they all had their little one-hit wonder solo careers, but like none of them were chart topping by any stretch of the imagination. You
Right.
know what
They
I mean?
didn't. I
Which is
think.
probably what led to, Liam Payne offing himself, if that's true, because then you start to, because even as a content creator, I'm starting to get into it a little bit, where some of your self-esteem and self-worth is predicated on, are you doing well online or not? You know what I mean? And I'm a small content creator. I can only imagine what these big guys do, how they feel. You know what I mean? So like they all broke up, and then they're all trying to do their own thing, and they realized they were way better as a team. You know what I mean?
But the thing is, if they realized they were way better as a team, whatever they went through during One Direction was so bad that they still did not want to get back together and be under the same management. I think they didn't like their management, and I think they didn't like the way they were censored, because as soon as they went to their solo careers, they started cussing in their songs and talking about sex. So clearly they
Right.
wanted creative freedom, and they were not being given creative freedom. So
Well,
they never, all of them never wanted to get
all
back
the boy
together.
bands, though, like the boy bands seem to always be like overproduced. Like there's just like a team that put them together because they were good looking and they could sing. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like
yeah.
they're never, it's never those, like all those guys weren't a group to begin with. You know what I mean? There wasn't like four homies that were like, we can all sing. Let's hang out and start doing shit. You know what I mean? Like it's always a bunch of fucking executives who want to put this group together, who they don't even fucking know each other like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it was actually all five of them auditioned for the X Factor separately, and Simon Cowell.
Okay, I do remember recalling that a bit.
Mhm.
Somebody bringing that
And
story up.
Simon Cowell was the one who put them all in a group. Simon Cowell made One Direction.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
He
He just put out
he
a
spoke
letter
out
about it.
after Liam's death. He sure did. You know what's even more fucked up? Liam was actually in Argentina for Niall's show. It was another, he was for his show. So Niall was the last one to see him alive, and he died going to see him. Like that is fucked up. But there's some videos circulating of him a few nights before the incident. I think the night of the incident, and he's clearly under the influence of alcohol. And I want to say something else, because when you're doing pills, you kind of get this like flat look in your eye, and it's different than alcohol. Like you can kind of see alcohol, like, oh, he's just really fucking drunk. But when someone's drunk and high, you can kind of see it. And
Right.
he was just like gone. Whatever he was doing, I didn't look up his autopsy because it's not that personal to me. You know, like I don't want to be up in his business. I feel like autopsies should be for the family, really, and not for the public. But on that note, let's talk about fucking TMZ. Did you hear about their fucking ass? You heard what the fuck they did? They posted photos of his dead body on
really?
the internet. They were the ones who confirmed it was him. Yes, they did. Sure fucking did. How long has TMZ been getting away with this vile shit?
Call it the numb stare, duck sauce.
Yeah, it's the numb stare.
It's a 1,000-yard stare.
Yeah.
Similar to like war vets who've seen too much, you know?
Yeah. But fuck TMZ for that. That was gross.
Yeah, TMZ, they're usually they
were the ones who did it to Kobe too. They did it with Kobe. They posted photos of his body.
There was no body for Kobe. I don't.
They
I don't
posted
think.
photos of the incident before his wife was even made aware. So, like, this is not the first time TMZ has done some trifling ass shit.
I mean, their news like crew. I won't even say like entity, but a crew based in Hollywood. What do you expect? You
I
know,
expect better than that because
well,
that's just
I didn't know
disrespectful.
that they have like fucking spies all over the world. Evidently, if they're able to break the news in Argentina
Oh
before
yeah.
anybody else, that's
Oh
crazy.
yeah.
They're just everywhere.
Oh yeah.
They're the Illuminati. I think they're like they're branched with the Illuminati. What
Be
do you
sure
think?
you say in your opinion and allegedly when you say things like that.
No, I'm gonna
Okay.
stand on it. I'm gonna stand on it.
Okay. Live your best life.
They're the. I'm gonna say I think they're the Illuminati. I can't say that I know. Uh, no, let's put it. Let's okay. I have a high school diploma, and it took me 2 years to get 1 year's worth of college. Okay, don't take anything I say as fact. Okay, I'm gonna state it like it's fact, and I'm gonna be right sometimes, and I'm gonna be wrong sometimes. But just know that everything I say is what I think. I don't know anything. Like I'm real good at researching shit, but that doesn't mean anything. So
No, I get that. I get that completely. So the other day, my coworker and my other coworker who's new, he went to wash something in the dish pit, right? And he ended up like spraying stuff all over my coworker's clean dishes, right? And he's new. So she's like, "Hey, come over here. Um, I don't know how y'all did things over at your store, but over here, we don't do that. Please don't do that again." And do you know that he grabbed his jacket and walked out?
that's what I'm saying. Everybody's a bitch now. Nobody
Like,
can
we didn't
handle a
even go
little.
hard. Like, she didn't even, because she can yell. She can be mean.
Was
She
it,
didn't
how old was
even,
he?
I'm guessing like 18 to 20. I don't know.
We're raising these men to be bitches now, dude. Like you can't even handle a little constructive criticism.
Could they ever?
Men, yes,
Yeah.
we're the ones
Could
who
they ever?
invented it. We had to. We had to
Oh,
get.
did you?
We
Did
had to
you?
invent constructive criticism to create society. Like we had to be like, hey, look. So Ted jumped on the back of the woolly mammoth, and that the woolly mammoth bucked him, and he's dead now. So don't do that, okay? All right. I know you want to try it, but you're gonna end up dead, okay? You got some skills, but don't get cocky, all right? And that went on and on. All right, they were like, "Hey, the Germans are using mustard gas, so don't go over there." You know, I know you think you can go over there, and you did go over there, but you will get mustard gassed. Okay, don't go over there. They will fuck you up. You got lucky this time, but I promise you, don't go over there. That's constructive criticism. Don't do dumb shit. Don't do dumb shit. Okay? Yes, men could. You're only that's the thing with y'all women now.
Go.
Y'all are what is it? Y'all are trapped in the moment. Y'all are trapped in the moment. You have only dealt with today's men. Okay? But men didn't always used to be like that. We've gotten softer because society has gotten easier. Oh, I don't have to deal with the way you talk to me. She didn't even talk to you any type of way. She said, "Don't. I don't know how you do it over there. Don't do it like that though, because that's going to cause problems, and then you're going to have a reason to walk out."
Right, right.
Men are soft now. It's so stupid.
They've always kind of been soft.
No, they have not. The
They
ones
have.
you've dealt with, I'm sure.
They
But
have. The ones you've dealt with, I'm sure. You don't even have a dad. How many men have you dealt with? First of all, let's get one thing straight.
I've dealt with plenty of regular men. Okay,
Okay.
I've dealt with plenty of them. None of them are related to me. Um, and that's the big thing too. Is like um being raised by a mother. I was soft too for a long time, and I got out in the world and dealt with real men, and real men will tell you you're stupid right to your fucking face. That is the dumbest thing I ever heard. or like, why don't you know this? They'll do that. They'll do that right to your face, and it'll hurt your feelings. But as a man, you have to like get the fuck over it, because like, why don't you know that? Why are you being stupid? They're just being honest, and you need to grow and thicken your skin and all that, you know.
No, yeah, I know that. I know that.
So, um, yeah, I used to walk out on jobs too for very little. I still would over some. It's a different kind of walkout though. Like before, I would be like, "You can't talk to me any type of way." Now it'd be like, "I just don't. I got too much going for me. I don't need to work here." Like,
No, yeah, I feel that.
I've set myself up pretty well. So now I don't. I hope I don't ever need to go back to like working for somebody, but if I ever do, it's gonna be real hard to convince me to stay once things are figured out again. What?
Oh my god. Now fucking life, man. I can't wait for this fucking election to be over. I can't wait for shit to get right. Look, you remember a few podcasts back I was talking about this customer whose brother had gotten murdered, right?
You got what?
His brother had gotten murdered. You remember I told you about that customer's
Yeah,
brother
I
had
do
gotten
remember
murdered
that.
down in
What
New
happened?
Orleans. Well,
He
anyway,
went to New Orleans. He got lost to the city, man.
right. So I hadn't seen that customer in a little bit. It had been like maybe 2 or 3 weeks. Well, he comes in and I'm like, "Hey, how you doing? I haven't seen you." And he's like, "Yeah, you know, my mom had a stroke. She's in the
Damn.
hospital and she's blind." Right? And he's also getting evicted on Wednesday. And I was like,
Dude,
what?
did you ever see Ant-Man?
I did. I didn't see the second one, I don't think, but I did
Okay,
see the
but
first
it's
one.
the first one. Okay, the first
Yeah.
Ant-Man, where the Mexican dude's in the van. He's like, and Paul Rudd's like, "Hey, how's your girl?" He's like, "She left me." Oh, okay. Well, how's your family? They all got deported, but I got the van.
Yeah, I did see that part. No, yeah. And I'm like, that's so fucked. And I'm like, why are you getting evicted? And he was like, because I can't pay my rent.
Well, why the fuck
Like,
is he at Waffle House?
no, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking to myself, like, why are you here? But to be fair, I hadn't seen him in a while.
It's
So,
like $12 for a fucking stack of pancakes and some
no,
bacon
but
there
so
now.
I asked him, and I'm like, why are you getting kicked out so quickly? And he was like, apparently in the lease there was a clause that said they didn't have to give me a 30-day notice to evict me.
Oh, that's illegal.
I'm pretty sure.
That's
I'm
illegal.
pretty sure it's illegal, because I'm like, they legally have to give you 30 days. And he's like, no, there's a clause in the lease. And I'm like,
Mhm. No, that's illegal. You can fight that.
attorney, bro.
Yeah, they legally cannot do that. You can stay, and they cannot make you get out. It doesn't even matter.
The sheriff's office won't even put them out until 30 days after the eviction is filed.
Right. The eviction has to be filed by the judge too. So, like, no, that's yeah.
And if they go in there and if they lock the doors and like keep you from your stuff before that 30-day period is up, it's technically theft, and it's a bunch of other things, honestly. Like you can't just say, hey, you have a week to move out. That's illegal. In every fucking country in America, that's fucking illegal.
right.
Not every country in America.
I mean, they can give you a 3-day notice.
Every state in America, that
Which
shit's illegal.
is a 3-day notice is like they ask you nicely to get out in 3 days so that they won't file an eviction. And then the eviction won't be on your record.
Right.
But you don't have to adhere to that.
Yeah, no. Maybe that's what he's confused about. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe he doesn't, but I think he's confused on it then, because he's saying that there's a clause. No, he probably doesn't understand he can say no to it. And that reminds me of a scenario that happened to me when I was living in Texas, when I was in high school. Okay, I had a boyfriend at the time, and my boyfriend was African American, and we had just learned the Bill of Rights in history class, right? We had just learned this like the week before. He was called into the principal's office because his little brother, he did not live with, who lived with a separate guardian, had brought a knife on the school bus. So they pulled him into the principal's office and demanded that he empty out his book bag in the principal's office. And he did it. And there was a cop in there too. So you know that was fucking intimidation. You didn't call his parent. You didn't ask for consent. You told him to do something. Okay. Furthermore, his little brother bringing a knife to school has nothing to do with him because they don't even live in the same fucking household. And like he came to me later that day and he told me what happened. I was like, you know, you could have said no, right? You know, that's what the fucking Fourth Amendment is your right to say no to unlawful search and seizures. That applies to school too. And we just learned this. So it's very important to know your facts. My mom actually went up to the school and raised hell about it because that was some trifling bullshit. But that's Texas for you. That's just Texas.
Well, I mean, they try to get you on some bullshit too up here in Ohio, where like, all these kids were drinking, and then they just like blamed it on you, and they were like, "Oh, we found the cup in your locker," and you were like, "Well, hold up, y'all just went through my locker without like telling me," and then I went up there and I was like, "Well, can I see it?" And they were like, "No." I'm like, "I don't fucking believe y'all for a minute."
Meanwhile, I had a different water bottle.
Right, you had your water bottle on you.
With me.
That had been somebody else. Yeah, somebody else's water bottle.
But you know, I never told you that whole story. That whole story was the fact that one of the kids that was there, the one who put it in my locker to hide it, went to the school and snitched, went to the office and snitched about it.
So he put it in your locker and then snitched on you? That's some fucking bullshit.
Yeah, and tried to lie about it. Because when I saw him in there, everyone else who got called into the office, I like they told me, they said, "Hey, I got called in the office. This is the story, by the way." Because yeah, we was fucking drinking. It fucking happens, okay? But
Right.
the fact of the matter is, all of the blame was put on me. Okay, and I wasn't the one who brought it. So then there's that. So I saw this kid in the office, and then he didn't tell me that he got called down. And I'm like, so you went to the office, but you're not going to tell me that they called you down. So a few years later, one of my other friends ended up telling me that he admitted to getting me in trouble. Because he tried to say that he was worried that we were all going down a bad path or something, but it was really because I was getting more attention than him because I was the new girl there and he didn't fucking like it. Because he was always telling me I'm so down.
Stop now, man. We got these fucking boys competing with women.
He was always trying to tell me, "Oh, I'm so down. I can get you any hookup you need. I can get you this. I can get you that." But then the moment we're all doing something, you go and snitch on me about it. That was fucked. It was beyond fucked up.
Can't trust people, right?
No, I can't literally be. Anytime I want everyone to know right now. Anytime I got caught doing something, I never got caught. I was snitched on. Every single time.
I mean, that's usually
With the cigarettes, with the weed, with the high school. None of you bitches can keep your mouth shut. And then people would be like, "Oh, Liberty, how come you don't have any friends?" Because y'all fucking snitch on me. I'm done being played. I see how y'all do.
Yeah. Fucking haters gonna hate. That's a big thing that you don't learn until you're like, I think in your 20s, typically, is like your biggest haters are people you fuck with.
No, dead ass, because he'll still deny that shit to this day that he did not snitch on me.
Y'all ain't even probably friends no more, right? Like
no, we're not still friends. But I asked him outright. Like I went up to him and I was like, "So did you tell on me?" And he said, "No." Like, you're gonna lie to my face, bro?
Over some high school shit, you're gonna lie. Like, just yeah, you know, I was a kid. Like it's that easy. Yeah.
It was kid shit. But the moment I realized it was looking back when we were all like standing by my locker, the look on his face, I could tell that there was a little bit of like disdain or jealousy. I remember the moment I was like, oh, he was mad that he had got pushed to the side, kind of.
It sounds like you're describing a girl. That's the funny part.
No, he was kind of a pussy. Like, this was straight up some bitch shit for
That's
sure.
what it sounds like.
And it's always the motherfuckers who act like they're fucking hard. And the ones who are like, oh, I would never snitch on nobody. I would never do this. I would never do nothing. Because you know who else did that? My fucking girlfriend, who swore up and down that since she had gone to jail that she don't believe in snitching and she don't believe in this and she don't believe in that. But she told on me for smoking weed to my mother. After I stopped being her friend.
Yep.
What the fuck? Like, I don't need these hoes. Fuck y'all. The snitch up is crazy.
The only reason she snitched on you is just because she was mad at you. Like, that was it. You know what I mean?
No, she didn't snitch because she was worried about me, because she cared about me. She snitched because she wanted to get me in trouble.
Right, which is some female shit, if I'm honest. That's why you can't be doing no fuck shit around women. I've learned. You can't be doing nothing that, like, you can't do nothing in front of a woman that you don't want the public to know, because when shit goes sour with her, she's gonna tell everybody. You know what I mean? Like, whether or not everybody believes it or not is a whole nother, or even listens, is a whole other thing. That's why you just kind of can't. You want to hang out with your bros, and when I mean bros, I mean brothers and guy friends. They'll take shit to the. Most of them will take shit to the grave. The pussy won't.
You can't have guy. Females only have guy friends if the guys are trying to fuck them. And like, y'all can say what y'all want.
So like,
that may be my opinion.
But you're probably alone in the most part.
Well, I'm pretty solid on it, actually. Like, I'm okay with having like associates and having like friends, but as far as having like best friends and people I trust with everything, no, because loyalty is dead these days.
Yeah,
okay, you gotta be loyal to yourself. All right. Because if no one else is looking out for you, okay, you can try to be nice. People are going to treat you like a fucking doormat.
It's even worse when the economy's bad. Everybody else, as an adult, when the economy's bad, people will fuck you, bro. When the economy's good, it's a lot easier to be friends with people. A lot of people are more friendly, more kind, and less trying to figure out an angle. But when the economy's like this, yeah, people will fuck you, dude. People are more on edge. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be about money. It's just more people are more on edge when the economy's bad. Yeah. So believe it or not, the economy affects a lot more than just your money. You know, it affects
your mental health, your relationships, your physical health, because
your friendship.
Emotional health can lead to physical problems and stuff like that. So it affects your overall well-being when the economy is bad.
You know, when the economy starts dropping, that's a major flag to be like, all right, I gotta like bring myself in. You know what I mean? That to me, it's like the closest thing we can get to the caves as cavemen back in the day. When there was a storm or a stampede or like a bunch of saber-tooth tigers starting to hunt in, come in, you take your family and you go in the fucking cave for a while. Okay, so that's what you do when the economy is bad. It's time to go back in the cave for a bit until shit gets like the shit hits the fan and it's done hitting the fan, you know, and everything else, you know. So,
and
you know, I hate to be that guy that relates everything to back in the caveman days, but that's what it is, you know. It's the root
and also people need to be more like aware of the company they keep, because like you said earlier, your biggest haters are your friends. I'm not saying all your friends.
Not all your friends are haters, though. But like, your biggest haters are going to be a friend of yours, a friend or a family member, or somebody very tight. Maybe even like a sibling. You know,
There are people who don't want to see you do better than them. They may not necessarily want you to do bad. They may want you to do better. They don't want you to do better than them.
You do just as good as them.
Yeah,
but a lot of them don't want you to do better. You know. So.
And you just gotta be aware of it, you know, just take notice of the things that people do. And, you know, honestly, one of the main things is how someone treats you when there's company around. If someone treats you drastically different than how they treat you when you're alone, something's not right. Because they're trying to either make themselves out to look like something they're not, or make you look like you're something you're not.
All right.
So, and I see that happen all the time.
That's a big thing.
And that's the big thing with with women. Like if women hang out and then like they go out and a bunch of dudes like at a club, maybe one of the girls will start like acting different and low key start shading her friend or like trying to throw her under the bus and shit like that. It happens with dudes too. Dudes will start switching up and acting different when girls are around.
Bitch mentality. It's
And
bitch mentality no matter what.
You know what that is? That's insecurity.
Mm-hmm.
That's insecure. And insecurity just like seeps out of people. They just have to project it onto the closest person
We gotta
there.
stop calling it insecurity because that's what it is. But we gotta start calling things for what they are, rather than like the political term. If you start calling shit a certain like derogatory term, we go back to shaming people. Hey Sam, how you doing? We need to go back to shaming people, okay? Like I said you call it insecurity. I call it bitch mentality. But if it is insecurity, but it's also bitch mentality. But if you go with the worst name, less people will want to do it. You know what I mean? It's insecurity. Oh, okay, whatever. But if it's bitch mentality, yeah, shut the fuck up, bitch. You know what I mean? We gotta go back to being a shameful or a shaming culture. Like this whole like don't shame people shit that started probably like what 25 years ago and it's only gotten worse in the last decade. What? Why are your face built like that? You ain't got no fucking face, so maybe shut the fuck up.
Why is my face built like that? Like maybe because my parents got together and had a child? Why is your face built like that?
Science, bitch. Magnets, bitch.
Take a fucking English class while you're at it.
Right. Shit. Fucking, what was I? Yeah, we just gotta start shaming people again for certain things. Like, stop letting people fucking especially with this whole feeling thing. It goes back to the fucking you were talking about the paperclip thing, the paperclip necklace. Stop fucking making me feel a certain way because you feel a certain way. You shut the fuck up and figure out your shit. I don't gotta tiptoe around you because you got problems. I ain't got no problems, and I'm perfectly fine. Why is it my problem that you have a problem? That don't make no sense. I can't shame, but y'all can. Yeah, we're good at it. All right. We grew up like rough.
I try not to shame people
But
about.
You're good at it, aren't you?
I mean,
you can do it.
I mean, there's very few things that can make me shame someone because at the end of the day, I'm not judgmental. Okay, I live in the South. I'm from the South, but I'm a liberal. Okay, I don't care if you cut your hair. I don't care if you got piercings, face tattoos, whatever. As if you're a nice person, I'm gonna treat you with kind of how you treat me is how I treat you. I'm a mirror. I'm gonna reflect. So for me to shame you or something, it would really have to be about common sense. I cannot stand when someone comes to me with a problem and is like, I can't solve the problem, and the solution is right in front of them. Like, it either admit to yourself that you don't want to overcome the problem, or see that there is a fucking problem, because I'm not going to do this with you. A lot of people don't want to overcome their problems. Okay, that's fine. Live your life how you want to live it. But don't sit here and act like you don't know what the problem is. You know what it is.
Right.
You don't want to get there yet.
I hate, and then another thing is, I hate when you offer solutions and people like kind of dismiss them. And it's like, okay, well,
because they don't want your solution.
All you want to do
is want sympathy for the problem.
I'm going to do that.
They want sympathy for the problem.
I have my own problems to give a fuck about yours, you know?
Honestly. And at the end of the day, you've got to realize...
It's all true.
You got to realize, like, you hold all the tools to, like, fix your own life and to fix all your problems. You hold all the tools. Okay? Whether it be money, whether it be relationship, whether it be children, you have all the tools. We all have choices. We may not like the choices, but we all got them. Okay? You think I like waking up every day and going to fucking work? I'm not built like Kamala because, first of all, she's skinnier than me.
I was going to say, Kamala's kind of hot, so that's kind of a compliment.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you're getting at.
Pretty fine. I got to give her that, you know? Like, I don't want no hot woman running the country, though. Like, they live in a different reality. They're not. They've been told yes their entire life.
See, this is a prime example of insecure people trying to project.
To tear down somebody else down? Yeah.
Like, it's not going to work, but you could keep trying. I've got 5 brothers. You're going to have to try harder than that,
I'm one of them.
I mean, shit. And honestly, you're gonna have to try real harder than that because this is the hottest I've been in like 2-3 years. So you can't say shit to me right now, bitch. That's nobody can make you feel inferior unless you let them.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, what are
That's just how it is.
Fight me, po. Sam says, when people ask for advice and don't take it, I'm done giving it to that person, not wasting my time. Exactly. It's
Mood.
like, well, I mean, your advice isn't necessarily like the be all end all. Maybe your advice doesn't work for that particular person because we're not, like we're not always the same person. You know what I mean? Just because you've been in that person's situation that they're in before doesn't necessarily mean that your advice is going to necessarily help them because they have lived a different childhood than you. They're living a current different life than you. They probably have a different background, a different what is the word, demographic. You know what I mean? Maybe a guy, you're a girl, or they're black, you're white, whatever. You know what I mean? They have a different culture. Even so many things are making their decisions different than the decisions you've made. So money even could be a thing, but like it's not that if you don't take my advice, it's if you don't even acknowledge my advice. That's when I'm like, okay, well, fuck this person. You know what I mean? Like that's I have a bad habit of just like not fucking with people like a lot. I have a very small social circle, very small. And I mean like people who don't even live in my city. Like I know upwards of 10,000 people because I'm a content creator. I probably only fuck with maybe 3 or 4 or 5 of them. You know, like one of them is you. Um, you know, like I have a real bad problem with all right, fuck this person. Like I don't. You're too much of a headache. I got too much going on. I can't fuck with you. You know what I mean? You're causing me more stress than I'm willing to give you. You know, so
No, I feel that. You ghost the fuck out of people. I get it. I fully relate to that. And honestly, I feel as though the only people you should be taking advice from is a fucking therapist, honestly.
oh, get the fuck out of here. That shit's made up by the government.
I know
That's
how you
made
feel.
up by the government. They're trying to. That's a tool to keep us to fall in line, so the government keeps us in check. Okay, that's all. Take your drugs. This is think about stuff. Breathe. Be calm all the time. Not everything needs to be calm. You don't need to be calm all the time. Not everything is solved by calmness. Sometimes you need to say, "Bitch, square up." You know what I mean? Sometimes that's how you solve some shit. That's why violence is never the answer. A lot of times it's always the answer. It's just the final answer. Okay, we sometimes there's things we can get to before we get to the violence. Okay, like sometimes we need to solve with our words first. But don't tell me it's never the answer. It's always the answer, truly. But I think the only people you need to take advice from are people who are in a position where you want to be in. You want to be in, you want to be like them, take their advice. Those are the people you need to take advice from. You want to be like them. Hey, buddy, I need you to go. Go take off. Go get a shirt on. No, there's no juice. Go put a shirt on, bro.
Right.
He's just like not giving a fuck.
Do you want to know something? Actually, our mother did not let any of y'all walk around the house without a shirt on. That was not a thing that she
I
allowed.
don't really care about it. I'm just on camera. You know what I mean? Like that's
well, no, the camera for sure. But I was just mentioning a part of her, a part of our childhood that I actually appreciated because it was kind of it was equality. You know, I can't walk around without a shirt on, neither can you. So I always appreciated that part of things. You know, she got
but
that
then you
one.
got out in the real world and you learned that the patriarchy is a thing and the world isn't equal. So you got fucked up too late. You should have learned. You should have learned early. You should have been like, boys can do better and more than women can. Like, am I right?
Oh yeah, you're right. Most definitely.
You have
That's-
certain rules you have to follow that I don't.
Uh-huh. You
Like
are 100%
abortion,
correct.
depending on what state you're in. Like Louisiana,
Yeah.
which is dumb. Abortions are stupid. Or not
Now,
abortions, but anti-abortion.
now you
Being
see that
against
that
abortion.
response I just gave. That's the response I've been giving people at work when they're saying
Oh yeah.
outlandish shit.
Yeah, but I'll just keep going because you haven't exploded yet.
And I'll be like, yeah, yeah. Do you want some more coffee?
Does it work for you? Because I'll keep going. Oh, she hasn't given me the reaction I want. All right, bet. Let's pull out the big guns.
You know, most of the time I just play dumb, especially because right now it's election year and most of the time it's politics. So anytime
Right,
people
it's
try to
an
bring up
election year.
politics, I really just play stupid. I'm really just like, oh, I hadn't heard that. Is that so? I never pay attention. Really? Fascinating.
I mean, you can probably get away with that for another good like
Crazy.
8 years, if I'm honest, because you're in your 20s. So
I could do that for the rest of my life.
you really think?
I know. I know. Because my coworkers will be like, oh my God, I didn't know you weren't enjoying that conversation. I was like, I wasn't enjoying that conversation at all. I really wish one of you would get me out of the conversation. But I was trying my best to be polite. And I'm really good at fucking faking it. I'm really good at my job. But I need to make a hand signal or something for please get me out of this conversation. Because apparently nobody can tell.
Every conversation with a customer is get me out of this conversation material. Like, no, what? I hated customer service. Like, why are you talking to me? You know I don't give a fuck about you. The only reason I'm involved in this scenario is because you're involving me. You came here, you wanted something. Tell me what you want and get the fuck out. Like, what? Oh, how's your day? Terrible. I work here. I'm here right now. That's terrible. Why would you ask me that stupid question?
Yeah, I'm here early in the morning.
Yeah,
and every time a customer asks me, how you doing this morning? I always reply with, I'm sleepy. I'm sleepy.
Sleepy.
I'm tired. I'm sleepy. You're always sleepy. You need to get some more sleep. I'm always sleepy. I'm always here first thing in the morning. Morning shift has the best money though.
People who just love being stuck, those people, like, don't ask if you aren't ready to act. Exactly. A lot of people, like, that's another thing is people ask your advice with no intention of using it. You know, like, 'cause they don't have, like,
some people want to weigh one
conviction,
person's opinion versus another person's opinion because they can't form their own.
Well, I mean, that's common. That's very common.
Yeah, a lot of people can't form their own opinions on things, even if it's pertaining to themselves. All the time they'll be like, "Well, what would you do if you were in my position, sweetie? I wouldn't be in your position. I would not be fucking."
I'm way like more like better than you.
No, not in a mean way. It's just like some of the shit that I hear from the women in my life and the shit that they're putting up with from y'all, and I'm just like, I could never. Now maybe that's because
I guarantee you, it's not men that they're with; it's boys. So,
and maybe it's because I'm like 5'7" and kind of stocky, but no man would ever raise his fucking hand to me, and no man has fucking tried. So, where these men are getting off on doing these things to these ladies?
To be fair, you date short dudes. Your boyfriend is the same size as you.
There's a reason, motherfucker. We gotta be eye level. You ain't getting the jump on me, bitch. And I don't know if y'all know this, but tall motherfuckers got wider wingspan, bro. They're fucking pterodactyls. Okay, I don't need no smoke. No, it's all just laughs. It's all just laughs. I fall in love with who I fall in love with. I don't actually have a type. Whenever I say things like that, I'm making jokes.
Technically, your boyfriend isn't short. He's average height for a man, but you're really tall for a girl. So like it makes him look short in contrast.
Right.
You know?
Right. And then like I was having a conversation with a different woman today. She's having a different scenario. Nobody's putting hands on her, but she's dealing with someone who I believe is a narcissist. And the reason I say this is because narcissists love the word useless. They love that word, useless. When they call you useless, you think to yourself, am I useless? Am I not good enough? Can I not do anything? But really they're saying you're no longer useful to me. You're no longer giving me the validation I seek from you.
I don't think that the usage of the word useless necessarily makes a person a narcissist.
No, there's other things. There's other things.
Well, no, you're onto something. You are. I think what would make him possibly be a narcissist is calling someone useless and then sticking around. That's narcissism. Because if I call somebody useless, I'll use the word useless. I'll call somebody useless. But what I will not do is continue to be around that person. Oh, you're useless. I gotta go. Like I'm done. Like you're useless, you know? Because if I call you useless, I expect you to do no better. You know?
It's just such a harmful word. Like useless? Is there really anybody who's useless? Like some people can do things.
Yes.
Like that's a rough word. There's hardly anybody out there who's useless. Okay, so the fact that
I agree with you, though. I agree with you. There are people who aren't useless. Nobody's useless, but there are people who are being useless. Okay.
Yes.
They're not being helpful to any situation they're in. Out of laziness, insecurity, fear, whatever it is, you're being useless. But you have the ability to not be useless. And maybe you need to be told you're useless, and then for that person to go. But if you call somebody useless and you stick around, yeah, you're a dick. Why are you sticking around?
It's
really.
It's really the psychology of it. Okay, so like if someone's calling you useless, somehow in their mind they're trying to break down your psyche into believing it, and then manipulating you from the ground up to be the individual they want you to be, but you'll never be. Because that person's made up. Now, throw that to the side, right? So, where was I going with that right before that? The thing is, the moment you start believing that you're useless is where they got you. Okay? If someone calls you useless and you start wondering, like, am I really? That's the manipulation is already getting to you. Okay? If someone calls you useless, you should want to show them, I'm not fucking useless. Watch me go do this. Watch me go do that. Like you said, it should motivate you, not even to prove to them, but to just prove to yourself, I'm not fucking useless. You know, and here's the proof. But someone who's trying to manipulate you will have you questioning yourself. Am I useless? Can I do that? And they've already got you. They've already got their hooks in. You can't even start thinking that way about yourself because you're just leaving yourself open to people who want to sink their claws in you.
Yep.
Never let them get the jump on you.
You're like a wounded fucking wildebeest, you know?
Yeah, never let them get the jump on you. Never let them believe that you're fucking useless. If someone calls you useless, go prove that you're not.
Don't be useless.
That too. Now, if you are being useless, use that as motivation. Right. You know?
Useless
but don't let people get in your head.
Imagine calling somebody useless.
That's so mean.
No. Like I can call somebody useless, but can you imagine using that word and then like having a relationship with that person, whether platonic or romantic, whatever the relationship is, like continuing to have a relationship with that person? Like if it's not awkward after you've said that, you're a fucking psychopath. You know what I mean? Like calling somebody useless and like. I get it maybe in context if there's a joke, you say it, oh, you fucking useless. Get away from me. But like if you say it with oomph and you mean it, and they know you mean it, and you made eye contact when you said it, and then you continue to have a relationship with that person, that's weird. That's weird, right?
You know, I guess I never looked at it.
Because you have no respect for that person, and that person has no respect for themselves.
Yeah, because I'm not staying with anybody who calls me useless.
That's the other thing. Take it from the other side. Somebody calls you useless. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Watch me fucking go through the fucking Michael Jordan era of my life. Okay, I'm about to go win 6 rings in 8 years, bitch. Whatever I can do, whatever version of my life I can do that, I'm about to go do it. I'm about to be the GOAT of my fucking life.
Exactly. Don't let these motherfuckers get in your head.
LeBron James, fucking, we're getting 4 rings, 10 appearances in a championship. That's more like it. 40%. We're doing 40%, but we are going to get some rings.
And confidence
We're
is half
run
the
into
battle.
Kevin Durant and Steph Curry inevitably and lose, but we did our best.
And confidence is key, y'all. Confidence is key.
Right. I may lose six out of 10, but I'm still gonna call myself the GOAT, like LeBron James.
Now don't mix up your confidence with arrogance. Okay, that's where balance comes in. Okay, there's balance to life, the yin and the yang, and the feng shui, and all that. You can be confident
about that yesterday. That's so funny. You bring this up. Go ahead and finish what you're saying, and then I'm
at some point, confidence is good, but arrogance is different. Okay, and I'm not a psychologist. Okay, I'm interested in it. I don't know what the differences are, but all I know is I can see it. I can see a person who's arrogant and a person who's confident. Okay?
The difference is confidence is that person knows they can do it. There's just no question in their mind. They just know they can do it. You know what I mean? Like
they don't have to show it off. They don't have to flaunt it.
They just go and do whatever it is they need to do that gets done. That's confidence. Arrogance is boasting about it. Arrogance is the same thing as confidence, knowing you can do it because you've done it and you've proved it, but telling everybody about it all the time. You know what I mean? That's the difference. But I made a tweet about this recently where it says women say they want a man who's accomplished in life, and men is accomplished. Women responding to that, he's so arrogant. The point of the tweet is no matter what a man does, women will find a way to fucking talk shit about it. So
pretty much. Yep. But keep giving it your best shot.
Confident, but don't be arrogant. So I'm never allowed to talk about my accomplishment. I've never been like, damn, I'm pretty good. You can never say that to a woman.
No, you definitely can. You definitely can. But you shouldn't say it in the sense that, like, nobody could ever say anything to me because I have this PhD. You can't say anything to me. Not one. I know everything. Like, not everybody knows everything at the end of the day. Like, let's be honest, okay? Like, you could be pretty fucking smart. You could even be a fucking genius, but there are things you don't know because there are lives that you haven't lived. All right?
Right, but wouldn't you want a dude who is pretty sure of himself, though? Like, isn't that who you want? Like, to go.
Yes, I want someone who's
in the living room.
Yeah, I want someone who's sure of himself, but I don't want someone who's arrogant and obnoxious and has to constantly show it.
Nicholas, you could not have just gotten dumber. You're the dumbest you've ever been, and you will always be that dumb. Sorry, I hate to break it to you, but
I'm sorry you couldn't keep up with our intellectual conversation. But next time you could put on the subtitles if we're talking too fast.
Yeah, there you go. You probably can't read, so probably won't help.
Oh God, I'm so interested in psychology and the dynamics and the way people work. And
you should go into it. You're still considering that. You don't think you're going to become more jaded?
100%, I'm going to become more jaded. But you know what? It is what it is. At least I can make a profit off of this.
You're going to be just as cynical as I am by the time you're my age.
I'll be cynical. I'll be cynical with a fucking degree to back that shit up.
That'll be the only thing is that you'll be paid. Unlike me, I guess I'm being paid to be cynical too, doing this. Yeah,
I am excited to learn though. Like, I'm excited to know and connect the dots and be like, that makes sense. That's why that motherfucker did that, and that's why this motherfucker did this, and I know that now, and shit like that. Also, I was also a little interested in anthropology. You know what anthropology is?
I've heard of it.
Basically, like, the beginnings of, like, the caveman and the Neanderthals. And
oh yeah, I would love to learn that shit. You should tell me that. You should learn it and tell me about it.
I should. Apparently, there is a lot more species of.
Yeah, there's Homo sapiens. There's
Yeah, there's a lot more than we
one too.
thought there were. There's a couple of them actually. There's like a bunch of different subspecies.
Well, yeah, because there's 3 basic ones that I know of, but they all mated and it made different ones. But I think Homo sapien is what we are, and they're the only ones that like survive. All right.
That's all like mystic and spooky and interesting.
Well, Neanderthals had a bad habit of inbreeding and just kind of staying in one spot.
No, you know what else they have?
What?
About cannibalism.
Really? I didn't know that one.
Yeah. Come to find out, that's why we weren't really trying to.
They went extinct on their own behalf. That makes sense.
Yeah, we weren't really trying to get with them after that. After we noticed that, we were like, we don't want none of that.
Right.
And everybody remember that our ancestors did their damnedest to weed out the fucking weak to get the best species that they could fucking get.
That's still happening today. Like, there's still some psychopath that's
subconsciously you're still doing it, because the reason people find you attractive supposedly is due to facial symmetry. And
like, you think about it, like, this is gonna be like crude, but like women with big tits and like wide hips and fat ass, all that all it goes back to is she gonna survive childbirth so I can have more kids with her in the future? You know what I mean? So like,
it's all subconscious to like keep the genes going, keep the gene pool strong, and things like that, and you don't even realize it. So, which is why women get a lot of hate for wanting a man that is tall, but statistically, a man that's taller has more chances of survival.
Right, because not even just survival, but a bigger man is more likely to like ward off like
protection,
predators. And
exactly. So like, you can't be mad at us because subconsciously we're just trying to survive.
Right.
Fuck you, men! Ha ha! One for the girls.
I'm tall. I don't take any offense to it. Like, I lucked out. I'm like, the thing is, you know what the funny thing is about me being 6 foot is? What? I am 6 foot, but on dating apps, I have to say 6'1" because women don't believe me that I'm 6 foot.
Because if you're 6 foot, you're a liar.
Yes, so many dudes have just said 6 foot.
Nobody's just 6 feet.
When they're not, that it makes me have to lie too. Then I have to add it. I almost want to take away an inch. I feel like
I was just thinking that.
If I tried to make myself 5'11", maybe I'll attract more like I don't know, grounded women. I'm gonna try that.
I was just thinking that because to be fair, you're 6'1" with some shoes on.
I wear boots, so I'm like 6'3" with shoes.
That's what I'm saying. So like, when you put 6 foot and then you show up in your boots on a date, it's like, damn, he's kind of tall. Maybe he was being humble about it, you know? Like, but if you do 5'11", you'll definitely be being humble because you're actually 6 foot. But a chick who's like, oh, he's 5'11", it's tall enough. It's not about to be the tallest.
You also get the angle of where like, oh, he's 5'11" and he didn't bump himself up to 6 foot.
And he didn't lie? All right.
Yeah. And I am lying.
Reverse psychology.
Right. Bubba Slump, I don't know what you mean, who? You're gonna have
My name's Ruby Red, his name's Sniffing Glue 22, and this is the greatest goddamn show on air. That's who.
Yeah, if that answers your question, answers it. Otherwise, you're gonna have to elaborate.
And thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Oh, who cares? He got us. Suck my dick because I care. Bitch. That actually does kind of end the show. Oh, I wanted to one more point about the having arrogant boyfriend or whatever in the middle of the night, I guess you're like, oh yeah, we want a guy who's sure of himself, but we don't want a guy who's like arrogant or cocky. That very scenario makes sense too, because if a dude's sure of himself to go handle the burglar in your house or whatever, you want a guy who's smart, not somebody who's gonna like run up in there, hey, what's going on, and get shot, and now you're there alone.
And I'm not gonna lie, the people who are overly arrogant will get you into some fucking situations that you never wanted to be in because they're like, no, I got it. Clearly you don't. Clearly not.
But is that arrogance or is that just stupidity? Because I feel like an arrogant guy comes from experience and confidence, but he's just a little too rambunctious about it. I feel like stupidity is a different thing. Stupid, because there's a difference between confidence and I feel like there's like a pendulum, okay? And confidence is the balance, all right? Confidence is the middle, all right? And then you go too far this way, that's arrogance. But you come back to confidence, then there's then you go back this way, that's stupid, okay? They all kind of show the same thing. It's just one side's a different version of the other one. Stupid has no experience, okay? Stupid is just stupid. He's confident with no reason to be. Arrogance is confidence, and he's a little too sure of himself, and he's a little bit almost insecure why he needs to tell everybody. You know what I mean? It's almost like he was stupid at one point. You know what I mean? And he got the experience, and now he's like, haha, look at me, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? I wear a gold chain. I wear a gold watch. I'm a badass. I work out all the time. I got a podcast. I talk shit on Twitter.
Is that how you sound when you go on like dates or like hang out with friends?
I really don't like when I hang out. No, I don't talk about myself. I talk about myself when people are talking shit about me. And then I'm like, all right, time to school these motherfuckers. But I do come off arrogant to people sometimes. I have been told that. But I don't think they're right. Because I'm like, I haven't said anything. I just dress fancy and I talk a lot. That's all it is. But I'm never bragging. What do I have to brag about? I live in an apartment. I got a 09 Honda Mazda 3. That's the only thing I own. I don't got a girlfriend. Baby mama hates me. Like, what do I have to brag about? What do you mean I'm arrogant?
Right, like what am I? What do you see me fucking being arrogant about? I'm just over here chilling, minding my business, and that just irks the fuck out of people. Like you just being yourself, being authentic. And I've said this to you before. I'm not going to get into it. We say that for another time. But authenticity,
people
fucking hate it when you are just yourself and people like you, and it just irks people because there are people who are themselves and they don't even like themselves. So how could other people like you? You can't even stand yourself.
Right.
So you just being you, it just irks people. But hey, don't let it slow your roll. Y'all keep being you, keep being authentic.
No, I have too much momentum now.
Keep being kind, keep being confident.
Did you see I'm almost to 2,000 subs?
No, I did not. I'm going
to probably break 2,000 subs today or tomorrow. So.
Well, that's amazing. Y'all follow me too.
Yeah, I'm a sister. You need to post content.
I'm a sister, so I'm pretty much just him in female form.
You're a little more liberal than me.
Because I'm a girl. It comes along with being a woman.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Unfortunately for the men.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you. That was the point of what I said. But yeah, you need to post more content. Because I think you could way surpass me. A lot faster too. A lot faster than you think. Give it a year, you'll already be ahead of me. So.
You know what I really want to get into next is the fucking Oedipus complex, because I'm pretty sure that story Oedipus didn't know that was his mother because he was abandoned as a baby. So
100% know what you're talking about. I know Oedipus.
Okay, so the Oedipus complex is comes from Freud. We all know about Freud, and Freud it talks about how there's a belief that young children, like under the age of 3, young males are subconsciously attracted to their mother. Okay, and that's Freud. Freud was always into some weird incestual shit. And it's called the Oedipus complex because there's a story from ancient times where this guy named Oedipus was abandoned as a baby, and somehow he ended up coming around and he ended up falling in love with his mother, right? So they named that complex after him. Oedipus didn't know that was his mom. Why did we name that after him? Now we got this guy looking a fool when he was abandoned as a baby. It's a whole thing.
Moral to the story is, do not date women older than you. Always go 5 to 10 years younger. Especially when you're
look
older.
at Jon Snow. Look at Jon Snow. He actually banged his aunt.
Never go older. Never go older.
Who would have thought? And that was one of his biggest fears. If you recall in that show, he was low-key worried that he would sleep with his mother because he didn't know who his mother was. And close. Yeah, he had mentioned before.
I never heard that, actually.
Because people said, why are you still a virgin? Why don't you just go to a brothel? And he's like, because I don't know who my mother is. And I have this like horrible fear that something will happen and it'll be my mom. Okay, and then come to find out, then at the very end, he accidentally sleeps with his aunt.
And so really wasn't made that big deal out of either.
Y'all did my boy John so dirty in that TV show. Fuck that TV show.
Yeah, fuck that TV show for sure. You know, and that's what a weird, irrational fear to have too.
Really not irrational. It fucking happened.
Yeah, and then like I said, there's a way to avoid that, John. Just don't date or fuck women that are older than you, like a significant amount older than you. I'm thinking you got a like nice 5-year window. You're good, you know. Hell, even 10-year window. Like, but like, why are you worried about banging some woman who's probably 18 years older than you? Don't do that. That's weird. That's gross. Don't do that. Anytime. You're a granny smasher? Is that what you're telling me, John? We're gonna end the show right here. Check. We're not doing every other weekend meals today because Jack has the flu. Yeah, he's sick. And probably, yeah, 100%. I mean, he's around all those gross kids all the time. You know what I mean? That's
oh my god!
Man, you know how it is.
Give him Pedialyte.
Yeah, I plan to. So yeah, you can check the show out every Saturday. It's the greatest goddamn show on air. You can catch me on Mondays and Tuesdays with my boy Dino, the Genetic Marvel, Life of Giants. That's Mondays. That's pretty much this show, but with Dino instead of Ruby. We just talk about whatever the fuck we feel like talking about: conspiracies, current events, whatever's going on in our life, opinions and differences in life and whatnot. He's in Canada. I'm in Ohio, so it's a little bit of a different culture. And then the Hammered and Cheese is on Tuesday. That's where I get drunk and cook something, and me and Dino have a conversation over while that's being made. Definitely check out my shit. And Ruby, please post some content soon because people are starting to love you. And good night. Do you have anything to say? Closing comments?
No, peace out.
Later, guys.